Every night at 10 p.m., my second job begins. By day, I'm a sales manager, but every night, this desk becomes my studio, where I build apps, edit videos, and test way too many gadgets. Today, I'll show you everything that's earned a spot on this desk. This is my 2026 desk setup. Let's dive in. Before I explain anything though, watch this. I walk up, sit down, and the desk light turns on by itself. That's the BenQ ScreenBar Halo 2. There's a sensor built into the bar, so I don't touch a switch or anything. I just show up, and the desk wakes up. It's such a small thing, but I really love it every single time. The front light covers the whole work area without throwing glare across the monitor. Then there's the backlight, which lights up the wall behind it. That's what really changes the room at night. I really love this backlight because you can adjust the brightness too. I recently painted the wall with my daughter's help. She did an amazing job, and it turned out pretty well. And with this light, it's so cozy. This light definitely makes the room look better, right? Check this out. This is also cool. You can adjust the front and back separately, change the color temperature, and control everything from this little wireless dial. It's definitely a premium light bar. This dial is awesome, but I prefer less things on the desk. So this custom dock, and I hide it under the desk. Let me know if you like this sliding style dock. I'd be happy to share it with you. The light bar sits on a 34-inch Samsung ViewFinity Ultrawide. This is definitely the budget option. It was like less than $200 back then. It's flat, not curved. Some say curved ones are better. Yeah, probably better overview, but I just prefer how a flat panel looks. I think this looks really cleaner. The width is what matters to me. I normally split it into 3 or 4 sections while I'm working. Main project in the middle, or sometime left, ChatGPT on one side, Claude or Codex on the other. You might think it's too much, right? But, when I need even more space, I put my iPad on this Kushu stand, turn on sidecar, and now I have another display. iPad is fine, but when I want the full ultra productivity environment, I use this. This is the UPERFECT ZX245CQ, and I'm using it as my second display. And yeah, I know, it's 24.5 inches, so it doesn't really sound portable, but I actually move this thing around way more than you'd think. This kickstand, it has a really rugged design, and I like the cable port placement too. And the screen itself is really nice. 2K, colors look great, and it's 165 Hz, which is crazy. With this, you think it's too much, right? 3-4 splits on the main monitor, 2 more over here. Sometimes I forget what I was even working on. But man, I love this monitor. Here, I want to talk about cable management, just a small tip. If you have this Velcro style tape, your cable setup will look like 40% better. It's super affordable too, so I highly recommend it. If you're wondering how I'm running 2 external monitors on my MacBook Air M2, I'm using this DisplayLink adapter. The M2 doesn't natively support dual external displays, but this adapter makes it work perfectly. A Casus DisplayLink dual adapter. I've been really impressed with it. This has 2 HDMI ports, both 4K at 60 Hz, 3 USB-A ports, and 100 watts of pass-through charging, so my laptop stays powered off the same cable. If you're on a MacBook Air and you want to run dual monitors, this is pretty much your best option. Just the one cable setup is seriously amazing. And sure, I wanted the desk to stay clean, so I designed and 3D printed a dock for it. Oh, I should mention this. My main monitor is floating because of this. This is the Koufo Zero Gravity Monitor Arm Pro. Koufo is a Japanese company, so very trustworthy. I've been using this for almost a year, and I can say it's on a whole different level. This arm is awesome. Moving it up and down, super easy. And I love that it goes this low. It just goes wherever you want. No sag, no wobble. And the cables, hidden inside the arm. Look, super clean, right? And speaking of keeping things clean, I know pretty much every tech YouTuber has a desk shelf. It looks really cool in the video, but it didn't work for me. I tried, but it just takes up space and collects clutter. My rule is that fewer things on the desk are better for concentration. I don't know about you, but me, I still love writing stuff down on paper. I've tried e-ink tablets and all that, but man, even as a tech YouTuber, I just can't give up paper yet. I guess that's kind of why I like keeping my desk pretty empty. Or at the very least, I hide them underneath it. The desk itself is nowhere near as fancy. It cost about $150 from Wayfair. And listen, most simple black standing desks look pretty similar. Sure, Grove-made is different. This one, it goes up, it goes down, it holds everything. For $150, I'm completely fine with that. I didn't think much about the drawer at first, but now I'm so glad this desk has one. I actually had a lot of fun organizing everything inside, so let me show you what I've got in there in a minute. If you're enjoying the video, please give it a like and subscribe. It really motivates me to make more videos like this in the future. Thank you. Before we get to the drawer, let's talk about the chair. This is the Hibata X7. I really love this chair. Even after sitting here for hours, I'm still comfortable and don't feel as tired. But let me tell you, this thing is really, really expensive, so I'm not even sure I can recommend it because honestly, for that price, I'd probably buy a new iPhone instead. But man, this chair is seriously comfortable, and the built-in cooling fan has been amazing this summer. Okay, let's talk keyboards for a sec. So this is the split keyboard. Yeah, I know, it looks incredibly nerdy, I'm aware. But once I'm actually typing on it, my hands just have more room, my shoulders stay open instead of caving in, and after a long session, I'm just not as hunched over and tight as I usually get. And the gap in the middle ends up being a perfect little spot to prop a notebook, which I didn't even plan for, it just kind of worked out that way. The learning curve is real though, not gonna lie. It took me way longer than I expected to actually get comfortable on this thing. And if I'm being honest, I'm still faster on a normal keyboard. So that's the split one. Now the one I'm actually using day to day, my daily driver, is the Satechi Slim X. It's basically the black version of the Apple Magic Keyboard I've always wanted, and sadly, Apple's never gonna sell that. So this is as close as I'm getting. I keep the trackpad right next to it in a little mount I actually designed and 3D printed myself. And together, they just feel like one clean unit. Simple, tidy. I really love how this looks on the desk. But here's the catch. The Satechi doesn't have Touch ID, so my solution was, honestly, kind of ridiculous. I mounted an entire Apple Magic Keyboard underneath the desk for one button. That's it. That's all it's there for. I just reach under, press Touch ID, unlock the Mac. I use it for passwords, payments, signing into apps, all of it. I know. You're probably thinking this is ridiculous. Yeah, you're probably right. But Touch ID is just too convenient to give up, so I actually found this keyboard used on eBay for like 40 bucks. It was silver originally, so I spray painted it black to match the desk. And personally, I think it came out pretty decent. Okay, now the drawers. Every single gadget in here has its own spot. I designed these trays and dividers around the exact stuff I keep in there, then printed all of it on my 3D printer. Opening this drawer genuinely makes my brain happy. Nothing's rolling around, I'm not digging through some pile of random gadgets. I know exactly where everything lives. I'll be honest, man, I have way too many gadgets at this point. So these are basically the League A and League B gadgets, if that makes sense. Oh, and I want to talk about this one too. This is my other keyboard, a tiny 40% keyboard. Definitely not for everyone, but for me, this is the perfect EDC keyboard. I swapped the keycaps myself, and I'm weirdly proud of how it turned out. Then there's this little left-hand macro pad. I've mapped the buttons to things like copy, paste, cutting clips, and launching apps. When I'm editing in Final Cut Pro, it makes everything feel faster. Just cut and paste, pretty handy. And this dial, it's weirdly satisfying. I attached a MagSafe ring, so now I can do this. All right, next up, something geeky, yet actually powerful. This one's also really great for productivity. It's called the Nape Pro. It's a trackball made by Keychron and Gizmodo Japan. And the idea behind it is just cool, like I'm into it. It lets you control your cursor without ever taking your hands off the keyboard. Because I don't know about you, but I hate that move. Reaching over, grabbing the mouse, coming back. If you type a lot, this could pretty much kill that habit for good. Only thing is, it's a trackball, so it'll take you a bit to get used to it. Once I'm using this, I genuinely don't need a mouse. Don't need this left-hand device either. Yep, you guessed it. And of course, I designed and 3D printed a dock for it, so whenever I need it, I just reach over and slide it out. This way, I can always keep my desk neat. By the way, I had 3 mice at one point, the Logitech MX Master 4, this little Rapu mini mouse, and the Keychron M6. As you can imagine, the Logitech is by far the premium one here. But surprisingly, this Rapu has been my main mouse for like 3 years now. It's cheap, but it's legit. It just fits my hand perfectly. I never had a reason to change it. But this year, I figured it was finally time for an upgrade, so I tried the MX Master. And yeah, no wonder every tech YouTuber uses this thing. I don't even need to explain it, right? The features, the customization, it's all just there. I get it now. But seriously, I used to think spending $100 on a mouse was ridiculous, so I always stuck with cheaper ones. But this has honestly improved my workflow so much. The Keychron's nice too, but the side scroll just isn't on the same level as these two. I mean, for the price, it's okay, but the materials feel really plasticky and it looks kinda cheap. It's slim and comfortable in the hand though, so almost. If the side scroll wheel were better, I'd keep it. Now this custom mini shelf. There's a little calendar from Muji and this plant, because the desk needed at least one IKEA thing on it, right? My speaker's a tiny one. I listen to lo-fi or chill music only, so this small one is good enough for me. The actual music comes from this tiny device though. It's basically like a Spotify car thing. While I was filming this, I got an idea and made this. This Joyroom charging station is honestly one of the more useful additions on the desk. It's got retractable USB-C cables built right in, so I just pull out exactly the amount of cable I need, plug in, and when I'm done, that's it, it just retracts back. It's got a USB-A port on there too. Black desks look cool, but dust shows up really easily, so you have to clean them pretty often. And here's how I clean mine. I use this thing. I don't even know what it's called, but it works really well on my desk. And I always use this awesome little air blower. It's perfect for cleaning. Especially when I want to clean inside the drawers, this is perfect. I don't know how, but dust somehow gets in there too. I'm not a clean freak or anything, but I just can't focus or work well when my desk is messy. So I don't know about you, but I seriously can't work when I feel hot. Like once I start getting hot, I just can't focus anymore. I feel like most people probably have a little desk fan, but my choice is this. Simple reasons. I really like the design. It's super minimal, the color looks really nice, and it doesn't really look like your typical handheld fan. Cool thing is, this is actually pretty powerful. You just push the wheel to turn it on and then swipe up or down to adjust the fan speed. It also shows the speed and battery level right here on the display, which is really convenient. So I'll use it at my desk, throw it in my bag, and take it with me when I go out. And if you work in New York City, you definitely need something like this in the summer. Okay, you're probably looking at this thinking, definitely not necessary. And yeah, that's fair. But this is just who I am at this point. I collect these big, oversized portable chargers. This one's the Charge Hyper Tower, 25,000 milliamp hours, up to 170 watts total output. And the design, man, it's just perfect. The little screen, this lime green color accent, it's such an amazing look. This built-in cable is already really handy, but the best part is there's actually another built-in cable, and this one is retractable. So you just pull it out when you need it, and it goes right back in when you're done. Then there's the Joyroom Podix, slightly smaller, but this is an amazing charger too. It's kind of similar, but the design is different, and honestly, this one looks really nice too. But the power is the crazy part, up to 240 watts. That's insane for something this size. And just like the other one, you get two built-in cables. One of them is retractable, which I really like because you don't have to carry an extra cable around. One more, so this is ZoPower 140 watts portable power bank. Here, it got lots of ports, USB-C, USB-A, and the USB-C can go up to 140 watts. Sure, I use this at desk though. It also has an actual AC outlet. This is super handy. It's not small enough for a pocket, but for cameras, drones, a router, or a travel workstation, it's incredibly useful. Do I need all three beside my desk? No, I definitely don't. But I really like these batteries. I have more, but for the big size, these three are my current favorites. Alright, this tiny OBSBot webcam. It's a 4K camera for meetings. Super minimalistic, just sits there and does its job. Like I mentioned earlier, I painted the wall this olive green. During the day, it feels really calm, but at night, with the backlight on, it gets a lot moodier. And these wood slat panels add some texture to the room, then the big desk mat kind of pulls everything together. And honestly, it's doing double duty because it hides the annoying parts of this desktop underneath. This corner's our charging area. Phone, watch, AirPods, everything just goes here. This is the Anjank Glow Dock, and it's basically 5 things in one. So right here, I can magnetically charge my iPhone at up to 25 watts, charge my Apple Watch here, and my AirPods down here, all at the same time. But what I like is, it's not just a charger. You also get a clock right here, and there's a built-in ambient light with different colors. And yeah, this actually looks really nice here. Simple, clean, and everything has its own spot. I'll leave the link below if you want to check it out. And then there's this water station too. Okay, this one's not really a desk gadget, but it's so useful in this room. Full disclosure, they sent me this one for free, but we use it literally every single day, so this is all real. This isn't me just saying nice things about it. If you hate buying those big heavy packs of water at the store, you're gonna love this one, the Glacier Fresh Cool-On. The thing I like most is that it's just easy. No setup. I mean literally, just fill the water. The filter must be really good because the water tastes clean and you press one button and cold water comes out. Cold water though? Can you believe that? It's got dual cooling chips inside, so the water gets cold fast. And also since we put this here, I just drink way more water. Tastes good too. That's really the biggest benefit for me. My wife works in this room too, so we both use it all day, and now neither of us has to walk to the kitchen to get water. And it looks pretty good, so I don't mind having it sit here. Man, I can't believe I used to buy those 24 packs of water bottles all the time. If you calculate it, it's kind of expensive, and carrying them in from the car every time, that part was the worst. No more that annoying thing. So this corner's basically become our little drink station at this point, and yep, we both love it. Okay, next, check it out. This coaster, made on my 3D printer. This is my pistachio iced coffee. And this one too, this is an iPhone dock, actually a recipe from one of those famous 3D printer YouTubers. The phone just snaps into place, charges, goes into standby mode, and yeah, I made these widgets for it too. I actually just moved this one out here for the video. I usually keep it in my bedroom. This small one's awesome. It's a Pomodoro timer. Maybe not for everyone, but this is just how I work best. 50 minutes on, 10-minute break. It's so tiny and so easy to use, I just flip it like this. I've got this one too. The design's nice, but I just don't want to leave it out on my desk. There's no space for it. Okay, how about this though? A hidden dock for my AirPods. Man, this is really handy. I just push it, boom, it's in there charging. Yeah, even the AirPods, I made them a dedicated place to live. So yeah, like you can see, everything's got a home. Nothing needs to just sit in the middle of the desk with cables running everywhere. So yeah, this isn't a perfect setup. It's never really done. If you're into desk gear or just chasing better productivity in general, it's kind of an endless game, honestly. But I hope this video was useful, or at least gave you some ideas for your own setup. If you enjoyed it, go ahead and hit like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll drop these videos you might like right up here. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.